I'll give everyone a timeline of like the nerdy part of what I've built, and just when I get too nerdy, just like make a noise, cut me off, and I'm gonna simplify it, okay? So when Jason and I talked in December, he had basically hired someone to make the most confusing shell of a GoHighLevel account on earth. Like I had serious imposter syndrome for a couple of days that I didn't know my shit at all, and I was trying to like reverse engineer what this guy was doing, and I just kept running into a roadblock. So I'm hiring consultants, I'm like, I'm an idiot, like please just tell me what I'm doing wrong. And they're like, nah, this is all shell. And when the third guy said that, I was like, oh. So what he was doing was making these super complex like sequences that were long. Like it would take like a month to get someone in if they were ready to buy now. So I took over, we kind of started rebuilding it in a couple other accounts, like made new landing pages. We started like a couple light automations from the Facebook ads, but still I was shortening something that was grossly too long to still be something too long. And as we started running ads on like multiple locations, I'm starting to see all this friction occur of like this ad account is set up and then it's manual where like a VA is checking it, then Jason's doing a walkthrough, or like then Zach's doing a walkthrough, and I'm seeing like this isn't scalable. And like I'm getting on calls with Jason, like this is not built right. And I'm like the one now building the new thing. And so about a week before we did the call with Lisa, I was literally just racking my brain. I did like screen recordings of every sub account in GoHighLevel, like Moline, Davenport, Peoria. And I'm just like, what is breaking in all these sequences? Like, what am I not seeing? And it was basically saying that like Buildium is the thing slowing this down. And I think I took an aggressive approach of like, let's kill it. But what I really meant is like, let's kill it for this part of it. Like Buildium can do some things that GoHighLevel is doing. I don't think it should anymore. So I think we need to separate Buildium to be all reporting, finance, money, like the responsible side, and then maybe have it give reminders to GoHighLevel of birthday, work anniversary, this is 2 years in, the suites for them. If you guys are good with it, I'm gonna take a second because I think this ties in like what we're about to talk to, but also like something you and I have always, I feel like, debated on Zoom, never clarified. So this was the analogy Lisa gave, and I fully agree with it. Like everything that we're giving them right now is valuable, assuming they apply it.
Yeah.
None of them apply it.
Yeah.
Her analogy was like, those are the things right before you check out at a grocery store. They're last minute, like it's nice to know it's there, but no one's gonna use them. And if they are using them, they are such a rare pick. So, and then I'll also explain like selfishly as a social media agency owner, like what are the risk factors of we do this for you, and which services in my head, I'm like, let's do that now, there's no risk. The one that I'll start like low end. I don't think offering doing content for any of these people is a good idea, even if they paid us $3,000 a month. It just isn't, because it's dependent on them participating. We don't want that.
Yeah, they're already
If they are. And so I don't like anything where there is forced participation on their end, other than signing up and using once it's already built. A safe entry point for me is like, if we go do these, right? Like I know you guys Friday are paying for it, it's a videographer. There is a inflection point where that actually becomes something where you can fully flip the bill and say, hey, we'll do this at a discount. It's only $500 for the day. Pick 2 services. Our videographer is going to be there. And then all we ask in exchange for that discount is that we ask you a couple questions about the suites. So then you're selling the videos that were made that day when you're already paying the videographer to be there. So it's like, hey, just do one of your service. It's a 45-minute appointment, and like the videographer is going to shoot it all. At the end, we're giving them an edited reel, because when Belle and I are going to make the reel anyways, that's already our B-roll. That's already what we're organizing to go over you two talking about renting from there. So I think that's a one-off. When it's at a point, give that as an offer, and it can be a la carte too. Like at any point, if you want us to get a videographer in to shoot your spot, we have a discounted price, and then we're also farming content out of that. Then I think as it scales, we get into where like Vagaro or any sort of booking link where we own the account, they are a sub-user where we own it, we own their data, but it's theirs to use, theirs to play with. That's like the stickiest, most like claws in the neck we have them, because most of these people are going from text messaging, stressing out and forgetting and never like really hitting their potential, to now we could literally have something that forces them not to double book. It's easy for them to now have recurring. So even though you know that lady comes in every 6 weeks, well, let's keep it 6, not 8 or 9 when she travels. This is something that literally we're having a VA do like once, which is like, and maybe not even, it could be just AI, like here's your auto-generated password, here's your username, put your services in there. And then it can be an upsell. We'll ask you what your services are on a 20-minute Zoom call, and we'll write the descriptions and the pricing. And then it comes into, now that that's there, oh, do you want us to just rebrand your social media pages? Now there's a reason to do that, is because we actually have somewhere for them to go. One-time fee. We just go in there, logo creation, have AI spit something out very quickly, use a customized like GPT we have for like how to describe what their business does, its services, keep it under this many characters. And then
booking link in the Instagram.
Yeah. Okay, and so I'm just going to explain, like on the one side, the videography, that's like us content farming and us getting like feedback data, but it's not super heavy data. Us having the Vagaro account ownership is like one, very hard for them to walk away from, but that's all the data that if we want to be hawks, like that's not stuff they're going to tell us on the phone. That's stuff that they're not even probably going to know we have in the app, and it's just going to report to us every month. We're going to know how many people canceled on that month. We're going to know how many people go to their page and then don't book because the photos suck on their service picture. And that gives us like real, like we can offer actual help. And this is a way to make money that should not be any friction, because you're buying something that's a la carte. Belle and I have an SOP created. Implementation should be 30 minutes or less on all of it, other than the videographer coming and capturing content because of the end time. So then once that data level, I think, is understood that we would get all that, does everyone know how like DoorDash crushed as fast as they did to like make Uber Eats and all the others not even compete? What they did is during COVID, they went to all the mom and pops businesses and basically gave them like free upfront, like we're gonna list you. And then they had a second tier, which is, and you can pay for Facebook ads and Google ads. And so in the restaurant owner's mind, they're like, man, all those local companies pitched me and it was like $5,000 a month. Why does this cost like only for what I get? And it's because what DoorDash was doing is they knew their cost per click and they knew their cost to acquire, and they were doubling that cost on the restaurant. So that if you were a restaurant, you were paying for DoorDash to get your customer data, and just DoorDash is redirecting to the restaurant. That's what I want our lead gen end game to be. That Lisa was actually like fully supportive of, like, yeah, do that as soon as you can. Because we can do way safer, like Facebook ads are great to get the tenant in because like we can target by job title, whereas like the services their clients are looking for are going to be very Google, YouTube based, where it's like barber near me, haircut near me. And so I think what we do is get to a system where we know that, okay, it's at full capacity. We're actually at a moment where we can do this. We wouldn't launch ads until we have like 5 tenants pre-sold of like, I'm going to pay $300 a month to this budget. And then if you're a person that wants barber services, anything that comes in lead-wise for barber service is redirected to that. Because we're already getting this organically. Like on the Facebook and Instagrams, we're getting people that are like, oh, I need my hair cut today. And it's like, we don't cut the hair, but tenants do. And so I think that's the end play, is where we're basically arbitraging the ads, but we're also owning all of the ad data that comes in on the front side. They aren't. We're getting all of like who their customers are. So not only are we owning where they have to do business, we're now actually owning where their business comes from. And I think when you own both sides of that, like we're really doing the whole renter business for you, where it is like a business in a box. And then notice now when those two things exist, it does make sense to pay more for the tax. It does make sense to pay more for like, I do need business planning. But I think it has to start with like, where are the immediate pain points? And like we've talked about that. If we can't even find their social media, there's no way their clients can do it. We want their money. You know what I mean? Like, and if we can't find it.
Yeah.
Now I've done this enough emotionally that we're going to be clear with them. We are not taking on any service that has emotional risk to us and the other tenants in our operations here. We're doing things that we know can work for you, but you have to like make that play. And I think that's why we should do the ascension ladder, where it's like start with something where it's either like get them the Vagaro booking link or get them the video shoot. It buys them in on one side or the other. And then once those two are foundationally set, then we can add services on top of it. But I think like, now even I'd say that, the Vagaro or whatever service booking link, like
It's got to start with that.
It's got to start with that. And I think the second the onboarding process is started, where it's like, send us your booking links. Oh, you don't have that? We have a team member that can set you up. It's only $179.
So what is this?
So Vagaro is just, think of it like the DoorDash for like hair and massage. And that's where we all need to be honest with, we're not adding value to pitch it to them. If they already saw the value and signed up, we're not adding value. How most of them work is it's usually like they charge you for 1 account, 3 accounts, maybe 5, and then there's usually a fixed point where everything above that is free. And that's why I'm saying, like, I haven't done the math yet, but I think the math that needs to be done is like, when does it make sense to like actually start implementing this? Because like in the beginning, like per user, it obviously has to be like a 2x for this to even make sense to do, right? But then I think it gets to the point where like maybe in the beginning it's a setup fee, that's a little punch of cash that month, and then we have a number where it's like, okay, once we're at this point, then
Is like Stripe and stuff built into this?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this is their, like for the salon owner, this is where they take payments, this is where it integrates their Google Calendar. Yeah, and you can be like, well, that's because you're not rebooking anyone. You also, yeah, all of these seem to be like referrals or past clients. You don't have any new clients. Like there's an option in Vagaro where like I go, I want a haircut from 1 to 2 p.m. Thursday, and it says credit card or cash. And you just hit the cash button, and then guess what it says? What's your email? You have to understand when we're giving this to them, the solution we're solving is they're gonna go, yeah, these guys even take care of booking for me. And when buying comes around, like I'm just telling you guys, like when buying comes around, that is a question that they are never going to bring up. But if we put that card on the table, like the multiplier goes up very. Like I have 3 guys I work with right now that are very high up in like Rocket Mortgage and cross country, and they're shopping other places, and I know their CRM does not exist very well. And they're like, yeah, you know what's crazy? None of these places I'm shopping have even asked me about my data. I'm like, that's not a good thing. They know you don't have your data. And it was one of those moments where he went back to one of them and said that. And they literally were like, yeah, man, to be honest with you, like that was a huge red flag for us. He's asking for like offers to move his team of like 30 lenders there. And he's not talking about his email list. He's not talking about how many clients are tagged. And he's like, I wonder why I'm not getting the same offer the other guy we know is. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you don't know your data, dude. Yeah. Of course. It's not a requirement. It's just, I think it's just like, this is where we have to understand this is the ancillary part of making the money, where it's like Davenport might have 13, Milwaukee might have 3, because they're all just, it's a more tech city and they know. You do this in Austin, Texas, and they're gonna laugh at you. They're like, what are you doing with my data? Yeah, when you do it, offer the free Wi-Fi, like Starbucks or Panera. Yeah. You have to put your email in.